Anthony Joshua has just gotten himself involved in the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight, with a visit to Gervonta Davis's training camp to help him out in the fight. Joshua and Gervonta Davis didn't just work and train together, they also had light sparring sessions with each other, with Joshua bullying Gervonta Davis around and making him use his footwork and guard more. Expectedly, Gervonta Davis's punches didn't do as much damage on Anthony Joshua, but the skill from Tank was there, and he had sleek moves and some very remarkable counter-punching moments.
Beastmo, let's go!
For the most part, Gervonta Davis fought on the back foot as Joshua dominated, and from the instructions Calvin Ford gave by the ringside, it was evident that this is definitely how the fight will go. Footage from their sparring session wasn't leaked to the public, but after sparring, Anthony Joshua said he had been preparing for Paul before their fight was canceled, so he was very aware of the kind of things Jake Paul could do in the boxing ring.
So, we know he's going to be definitely frustrated. You know, he's slower. You know, his arm reach not that much longer. We just gotta wait and see it till we get in there and test the waters. But I'm for sure though that he decent and he gonna hold up for a couple rounds. But once it get hot in there, I think.
The training footage didn't just show a boxer in the gym, but one who had more passion, intensity, and hunger than the one that fought in the first match against Lamont Roach. It's not just another match for me or another title defense. It's the return of Gervonta Tank Davis, he said as the video began. There was so much change in Tank's routine that his training now begins as early as possible with a morning jog, and then he closes the day with an evening jog. In between those jogs are many hours of a carefully planned meal, balanced to ensure his body gains the right nutrients.
For a very, very big moment, what is your normal day-to-day like at this time of a camp?
I'm also a night person, but I might go to sleep probably around like 3 to 4, probably wake up probably like 11, get my run in, and then eat, probably lay back down, and then wake up probably like 6 or 7, get my night workout in.
Damn, so you're doing 2.
And regarding his body weight, for the first time in a while, Tank has been more intentional about gaining muscles to increase his strength and power. The World Boxing Association lightweight champion was surprisingly out of ideas the moment he realized his power wasn't effective on Lamont Roach. Hence, he's working on getting even more power this time. Tank is very assured that for him to get the better of Jake Paul, he has to do everything better. I know I can beat him. I've done it in the gym with bigger guys before. It's not about him, it's about me. I just need to do everything better. And that's why his training sessions have been made to ensure everything gets better.
I said, I don't want to say names, be a name dropper, but I seen that man stop 54. I should get some stock in Gervonta Davis for how much I pumped that man up. He earned it. But I said,
but you the only one to be real about it. You the only one.
154 pounders. I seen him. I don't want to say names. I'm already a name dropper.
No, we don't do
with
that.
16.
Yeah.
But here's what I tell a lot of people. I said, what you guys don't understand. I love Shakur. I know Shakur for a long time, but at the end of the
Tank can be seen rehearsing various punch routines with his padmen, but what is most impressive is the coordination, the speed, and the accuracy to deliver a repertoire that looks as choreographed as this. While fans may complain of cherry-picking or ducking, the skill and power of Gervonta Davis are evident for the whole of boxing to see. And with his newly released training footage, he reinforces that fact one more time. Talking about his power one time, many had argued that it translated to one in the middleweight, with his insane knockout ratio. While Tank's boxing career is built more on power, he has the skill to back it up, and he showed this in his training session. There's the usual complaint in his fights that he loses the early rounds as he tries to study his opponent, which may be a disadvantage if he faces a skillful fighter. As always, his training was based on his power again. However, he backed it up with some other training on his muscle flexibility, strength, and endurance. Another change evident in his training sessions is that he now engages in sparring sessions of 15 rounds with each sparring partner, and each round lasts for 5 minutes.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Take deep breath when you walk. Take deep breath. Right.
The aim of this is to increase his endurance and athleticism. Gervonta Tank Davis has decided to spend more time on his footwork to ensure his movement is more fluid against Jake Paul, who loves to stay in the pockets and pick his punches. Then, Davis also spends some good number of minutes shadowboxing and working on the mitts and punching bags. Despite earlier revealing that he's had his fill of the savage science and will soon hang up the mitts, Tank has been looking hungrier and more passionate in the gym. The video also showed Tank looking solid in gym footage, and he sounds like his head is on straight, despite facing the bitterness of a draw and a soiled reputation. This is definitely the most skillful person Tank has faced, the narrator confessed. Odds makers are thinking Davis redeems himself and handles his business on November 14th. But there's a consensus that Jake Paul has a huge chance. There's so much Tank is fighting for. If at all he's to exit the sport, he wants to exit on the best note.
Listen, be Listen. He's swinging for the fences.
Makes more sense now why he trains the way he does. Strange for such a heavy-fisted type, taking in data and being risk-averse for long stretches of early rounds. It's about staying alive, about survival, which is understandable when factoring in his quite rugged upbringing. Despite his cries for retirement eventually leading to a disappointing performance for him, he still reiterated his need for therapy. During an interview, he is asked about his mental health. In the last 2 years, he's admitted that his past left scars, and he thinks therapy will be useful to more fully heal.
Oh, that's the hook.
However, that's not until he brutally gets his business done against Roach. Gervonta Davis shared a photo to his Instagram story showing himself training with a considerably bigger sparring partner. The picture quickly made the rounds on social media, making its way to Jake Paul's feed. The social media star didn't seem too concerned, however, writing on his Instagram story alongside a repost of Davis's story.
So we know he's gonna be definitely frustrated. You know, he's slower. You know, his arm reach not that much longer. We just gotta wait and see until we get in there and test the waters. But I'm for sure though that he decent and he gonna hold up for a couple rounds. But once it get hot in there, I think.
Gervonta sparring a guy with cankles. Buddy, bring in a real athlete, I'm telling you. Joshua and Paul were set for a fight in 2026. However, it was canceled when it was discovered that Joshua could only fight exclusively on DAZN, which was impossible with Paul, who's the main face of the most valuable promotions. According to a podcast he released lately, Paul recently hinted at a potential 2026 fight with British heavyweight boxer Anthony Joshua. Joshua, a former unified world heavyweight champion with a record of 28-4, would present a significant challenge for Paul, who has primarily faced former MMA fighters and non-traditional boxers in his career.
I am due. Retired. I got you.
However, any fight between the two looks quite unrealistic right now. Joshua has been absent from the ring since suffering a brutal knockout to Daniel Dubois at Wembley in September. His return to action has been thwarted by injury problems, with Eddie Hearn revealing that his marquee heavyweight talent will need 8 weeks to recover from a minor setback in training. Joshua's super fight prospects have also vastly diminished since last competing, with Tyson Fury announcing his retirement and Dubois targeting an undisputed world title fight against Alexander Usyk, which puts a rematch for the International Boxing Federation world title on hold.
Get some.
Absolutely. Very, very last one. Who wins? Jake Paul or Anthony Joshua?
Jake Paul.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. No, don't cut me off on that. No.
I won't do that to you.
I think it might happen weirdly.
Weirdly, I was starting to think this yesterday. I mean,
But Warren, who promotes Fury and Dubois, has eased fears that Joshua will be left in the wilderness. "We're making these fights happen," he told Sky Sports. "All I know is whatever they advise Joshua, the majority of the heavyweights are with us. That door has been taken off the hinges. Just walk straight in and we'll make it." I understand something was going on with an injury. For him, there's no rush. He's there and he'll decide in his own time what he wants to do. I'm sure his team will support him wholeheartedly, whatever his decision is.
35 calls at 7 o'clock yesterday morning. I thought it was that.
I listened to Jake Paul's clip, him talking about it, and all this stuff that comes out of Jake Paul's mouth, no one's surprised about it. He was that, regardless of what people think, that situation with Canelo was at some point a real situation there.
No, I thought it, as soon as I went to Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, as soon as that had happened, I was saying to people, I had...
Queensberry Promotions, headed by Warren, boasts a number of prominent heavyweight contenders that could well prove the superstars of tomorrow, such as WBO interim champion Joseph Parker and WBC interim champion Agit Kabayel. With Usyk suggesting he could retire after his next 2 fights, Joshua could end up being pitted against one of Warren's heavy hitters down the line. But at 35, Joshua has been touted himself to follow Fury into retirement, which would spell the end of a historic era in British heavyweight boxing. While choosing not to offer his recommendation on whether Joshua should hang up the gloves, Warren says the Brit has nothing left to prove. That's his choice about retirement, Warren added.
You know them. I had Lewis Hart, Oscar Bevis, other people. I was talking to them around a table one day, and I was saying, "It'll be Canelo next. Watch, it will be Canelo next." He's pressing the flesh, because Anthony Joshua's not to be impolite to him, scratching his head.
He's been a great servant for British boxing, 2-time world champion, filling venues up, was on the crest of a wave for a long time, and in fact looked on the crest of a wave until he fought Daniel. He had 3 good wins under his belt. In his last fight, Joshua showed heart, balls, and determination, but he never got untracked after a disastrous start.
Euphorically going, could I play the game with that or not? I mean, the truth is, Anthony Joshua is far too big, far too powerful, far too young for Jake Paul. He's going to smash him. He's going to knock him the F out. But what a build-up that would be.
Right, we're going to leave it on there.
I'm not going to take questions, but you want to say a few words. Firstly, always walk your head high. We took a shot at success and we came short, unfortunately. We rolled the dice, man, for the third time. There's 30 more title fights. Not everyone's been successful, but everyone's been fun and entertaining. We're trying to create history for British boxing, and I think we're doing that. And also I appreciate all the press, media, the fans out here, but I thank them for you guys. I'm sure you guys will let them know we appreciate it.
Joshua is coming off a major career loss and would be booming with so much fury ahead of this fight. One thing we shouldn't also forget is that Joshua is good at facing casuals who try to boast about their boxing skills. After a former UFC heavyweight champion fought hard against Fury, Joshua was next on the line, and many thought he stood a chance before Joshua knocked him out in the second round. If we're being honest, it will be no different for Jake Paul, who has built a career fighting old men and crossover fighters. Undoubtedly, Joshua has what it takes to wreak havoc on Jake Paul. Even if the British Lion is to be killed, his death is never to come in the hands of a dog. The British Nigerian might be facing hard times in his career, but Jake Paul doesn't come close even in his crisis.
Some pro boxers, because I want to take this more traditional boxing route of moving up into the rankings, fighting professionals, and taking the route to become world champion, like a prospect of my caliber would be doing.
Is there risk with that though? Like, why do that? Like, I remember when you were
I
fighting.
It got so bad that Jake Paul denied he was on a hard substance after he sensationally called out two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua last week. The YouTuber turned boxer sent shockwaves through the fight community, declaring his desire to step into the ring with the two-time champ. He said he wants to fight Anthony Joshua because he knows he will f***ing beat Anthony Joshua, proclaimed this on his YouTube channel BS with Jake Paul. He also claimed AJ doesn't have a chin and has no skill while being so stiff. I love you, Anthony. We're friends and all this stuff, but I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of f***ing people. Joshua hasn't been seen in the ring since a loss to Britt Daniel Dubois in September. Paul, 28, was last seen in the ring back in November, overcoming ex-heavyweight world champ Mike Tyson.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, if I'm someone that runs, like what you said about, like, am I being myself now? I'll just always keep it 100. Like, if I'm...
Earlier this year, rumors began circulating regarding a showdown between the young American and Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez in May. However, those whispers were extinguished after Alvarez inked a profitable contract with Riyadh Season. Paul's unexpected call-out raised eyebrows, prompting even his brother Logan to dig for answers. In a recent upload to his official YouTube channel titled "My Brother is Fighting Anthony Joshua," the brothers are caught on camera jetting off as the Maverick quizzes the problem child over his ambitious move against AJ. On a plane journey, Paul was left gobsmacked as he quizzed his brother with the blunt question, "When you called out Anthony Joshua, were you on meds?" The 28-year-old replied, "No, I don't do that thing," but then quipped, "But I would if you've got some."
You gonna take lead. Like, I've always let my coach lead. Like, whatever he thinks he should do. Ask Derek, the only thing I will dictate on is me wanting to do more. So that's probably the only thing I'll ever ask him to do. Oh, can we do one more round on this? Can we do one more round on that? Like, I'm not dictating writing out a program like at 8 o'clock at night when I should be in bed resting.
The conversation soon escalated when the WWE superstar probed further, asking, "Why did you do that?" The problem child openly shared his goal before taking a subtle dig at Joshua, to be the heavyweight champion of the world. His chin is gone. His sibling quickly interrupted, reminding him, "But he's still Anthony Joshua." Yet Paul didn't hold back, delivering another slicing verbal jab at the Brit, which is stiff. No rhythm, no skill, just no power.
So we shall see. It's a big tease, I think. I think it's a big tease, but there's a weird, even just kind of projecting it. If Tyson Fury saw Anthony Joshua in the ring with Jake Paul, it might just tempt him back.
The Maverick was then quick to question the seriousness of the challenge. "You're serious about fighting him?" Paul, brimming with confidence, confirmed, "Yeah, it's in 2026. We already talked." As the conversation wrapped up, the WWE star couldn't help but praise his younger brother's audacious nature. "Congrats on having such massive balls and being super rich," he remarked. Despite the back and forth, one figure who remains skeptical about this much-anticipated clash actually happening is boxing promoter Eddie Hearn. The 45-year-old was adamant that no commission would ever permit the problem child to face off against AJ.
Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul. Please put this to bed or light the fire. What's going on?
I mean,
this is the first time I've spoken about the fight. To be honest, like, I look at it and I think Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua. I mean, look, for me, we'd do it for the banter. Do you know what I mean? Like, AJ would fight Jake Paul. He'd fight anyone, to be honest with you. And if Jake Paul wants to step up and fight Anthony Joshua, he'll need the relevant insurance.
I don't think there's a commission, really, that should allow that kind of fight, Hearn stated on a podcast. But you know, we've just seen Jake Paul fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson, and that was ridiculous. Look, Jake Paul is an active cruiserweight, right? He's nowhere near world level. I thought it was disgusting, to be honest with you. He told a reputable news source, Jake might be mad enough to do it. Because all Jake thinks about is the money, right? The money he will get for fighting AJ is obscene. But he doesn't take into consideration the medical consequences that would come for a fight like that.
But, you know, the only thing that was disappointing was he says 2026. I'm doing it in 2025 if you really want to do it. You're not going to get really much better at this stage, but I don't know, those two have spoken. I spoke to AJ this morning, he went, listen, of course, I'd fight. I mean, you know, if the question was asked to Jai, would you fight Jake Paul? And there was...
I wouldn't fight him, I'd bash him.
Yeah. Listen, Jake creates massive events, right? You know that's going to create, like, unbelievable viewership, and, no disrespect to Jake Paul, it's a straightforward night's work.
Joshua himself has yet to pencil in his next fight after losing to Daniel Dubois in brutal fashion last September. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.